G'day, I'm Warwick Schiller, and today I want to talk to you about a subject I hear a lot of from people with their horses, and they get frustrated because they're just not making progress. And you know, if you think about what Shakespeare said, expectation is the mother of all frustration. I think people get frustrated because their expectation is that their progress is in a linear fashion. It's just going to go up like that. If you have that problem, I'll tell you about a little book here that I suggest you read. It's called Mastery by a fellow named George Leonard. It's the keys to success and long-term fulfillment, but it's about mastering anything. He's an Aikido master, but something he talks about in this book a lot, which will really help people with their horses, is when you are learning something, initially when you start to learn it, you'll have a bit of an upward surge. Okay, things will start to go up, and then it'll go up for a bit, and then it'll drop off a bit, and then you flatten out and you're on a plateau. Okay, he even has drawings of it in the book, but he talks about the plateau a lot, and he says that your learning curve doesn't look like that. Your learning curve, there'll be, like I said, there'll be a slight rise as you learn something new, then you'll taper off a little bit, and then you'll flatten out and you'll be on this plateau. And most people get really frustrated because I was getting better and now I'm on a plateau. What you have to realize is the path to learning is you will have the upward surges, then you'll drop down a bit, and then you're on the plateau. So you're higher than you were before. You are now learning something new, and what happens is you'll get stuck on that plateau for quite a while, and what you're supposed to do on that plateau is keep practicing. In the book he says you need to practice for the sake of practice's sake, not for the benefit you're going to get out of it. So basically you've got to just stay on that plateau, and what you're doing is you're building the skill that you're going to need to cause your next upward surge to happen, but you don't know when that next upward surge is going to happen. And in the book he talks about the most spiritual of the ancient Hindu practices, which is called karma yoga. And karma yoga is basically focusing on a task with no thought as to the outcome of that task. And so you're just doing that task, and that's what you have to do when you're on the plateau. He's even got a chapter called "You Need to Learn to Love the Plateau." Okay, and so if you learn to love that plateau, you don't get frustrated with it. You have to realize that it's a very, very important and valuable part of learning, either you getting better or your horse getting better. So, but in the book he says you need to learn to love the plateau. He says you need to learn to just not necessarily be happy you're on the plateau, but be aware that, just the big thing is that you have to be aware that it's a normal part of training. And when you are seemingly doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again on that plateau, or you're at the same level over and over again on that plateau, what you're really doing is you're building the skill you're going to need to have the next upward surge. But you don't know when the next upward surge is going to come. It will come when you build enough skill from just doing those basics over and over and over. So anyway, this is a short video and I didn't really tell you much, except the fact that I really want you to understand that that plateau is perfectly normal. There's even a book about it right here. There's chapters on it in this book. It's perfectly normal, and if you understand it's normal, then you don't have the expectation of having an upward surge and another upward surge. If you have the expectation you're going to have an upward surge, a slight drop, and then you're going to be in a plateau for a while, it really takes care of your frustration level, because you know it's part of the journey. You know you're on the right track. You know you're doing things right, and it makes you basically stay a bit more present about what you're doing, instead of thinking, why aren't we getting better? You are getting better. You just don't realize that the basic stuff you're practicing right now is helping you get better. There is another really good book, it's a bit bigger book than this one, but it's called The Talent Code by a fellow named Daniel Coyle. And it's an amazing book, much more, probably quite a bit more in depth than this one. But if you read that, even if you're not a teacher of people, but if you read that, it'll help you really understand how it is that talent is developed. And it pretty much follows the same line as this. Like, there is a lot of times when you're on the plateau. So anyway, that's my horse training advice from an Aikido master. Hope that helps. We'll see you guys next time.